Want to know what style of homes you can find in Roanoke?
Stay tuned to find out. Hey, it's Hal Cone.
And Chris Cone with Cone Realty Group.
If this happens to be your first time to our channel, 100th, 1,000th time to our channel, and you haven't clicked that subscribe button, do yourself a favor, do that right now, as well as the bell icon so you're notified each and every time we release a new video about living, working, and playing in the amazing Roanoke Valley.
That's right. It is pretty amazing. We love it. And we have folks constantly contacting us saying they want to move to or within Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, and the surrounding areas. So if that's you, your friends, or your family, please get in touch with us. We'd love to answer your questions and see how we can help out. You can call us, text us, or email us.
So we're not going to keep you waiting here. We're going to jump right in talking about style of homes here in the Roanoke Valley, because when we have conversations with people moving from other areas and when we travel, we understand that we've got some styles here that you may not have where you're from.
Yeah, that's always interesting to me when we have clients visiting and they're doing their house hunting, which is so much fun. You know, I love showing properties. I love showing homes, getting really into the homes and seeing the architecture and sometimes the history of a neighborhood or a house itself. It's really cool to see floor plans and different housing styles. We're going to bring all that to you today, but I do love when clients come and they're like, I have never seen this floor plan. I've never even heard about it before. So we wanted to bring you some common ones here and some not so common ones here, and just explore the different housing styles you can expect to find on your visit and eventually your move to Roanoke.
So let's jump right in here. We're going to start off with the colonial style home, which you're going to have multiple levels and multiple styles on the outside as far as the materials that have been used to construct those. So you're going to have brick, you're going to have hardy plank, you're going to have vinyl siding, are very popular siding styles here in the Roanoke Valley when it comes to colonial homes that have been built here in Roanoke.
And there's some newer colonials too. As a matter of fact, we lived in a newer colonial in Roanoke County, and I love that. And some things I really like about this style is that it's very symmetrical, which plays into a lot of my I don't know, personality, I guess. I love seeing that symmetry. And also it has a great front porch, and it has like those multiple levels, like you said. You really have your main living space. Typically you have a finished basement on these, so that's additional living space, or tons of fun for the kids, or you could even have like a fitness area, whatever you want for your lifestyle. And then the upper floor, of course, would be bedrooms and more intimate space.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So main level, you're going to have living room, formal dining room, breakfast area, kitchen, half bath normally. Upstairs, you're going to have your bedrooms and bathrooms, and the basement is usually a rec area or an additional bedroom as well when you're looking at colonial style homes. And then one of the things you didn't mention was the fact that you get a garage, right?
Oh,
so
right.
most of these will have a garage. So most of the time they're attached. So you've got off-street parking when it comes to your colonials that are normally in subdivisions here in the Roanoke Valley.
And the last thing I want to add, because I'm always looking for this in houses with our clients, is storage. Based on your storage needs, I found that the Colonial had a lot of storage options. I really like that too.
If you're looking for single level, one-story style living, then a ranch is going to be your ticket. So you have ranch and patio homes here, which ranches may be on a slab and that would be similar to a patio home.
Right.
Whereas a lot of ranches here actually are over a basement. Sometimes the basement's finished, sometimes it's unfinished. And when it is finished, you'll have like a rec room and a bedroom and a bathroom down there. If it's unfinished, it's a ton of storage or an opportunity to actually finish that for more finished square footage at a later date.
Yeah, and always keep that in mind as you're house hunting. You want to think about what you're going to be using the spaces for and how much need you have for space. Because some of these ranches can be, 1,500 square feet. Some of them can be like 4,000 square feet.
They're really long.
They're categorized by being very long, low profile, close to the ground. And I tell you what, these are very popular with people that may have mobility issues, or you just don't want to go up and down and up and down and up and down. There's something to be said for that. Sometimes I get tired of going up and down steps. So that would be a good option for you if you're interested in this. And a little history, these originated in the U.S.
Very good. We got to know that. And a lot of times you can find a garage with these. You can find off-street parking. And one thing about these is they do have the potential, depending upon the configuration, to be opened up. So if you're looking for an open style floor plan, a lot of times if you buy a ranch that's, quote, fixer-upper, and you can knock a wall out and make it the creme de la creme when it comes to open style entertainment space between the kitchen and the living area and that type of thing.
That's a great point. We have clients always saying we want open concept, and so these ranches really lend themselves to that. You just have to have a little bit of vision and a great contractor.
Another common style of home here is the category of split levels. You've got a bi-level, you've got tri-level, and you've also got a quad level, which we call a 4-level split here. And so you've got multiple levels of housing with short stairs in between to get you to those various areas you're going to be living in.
I think this is the style that people are most unfamiliar with when they come to the area.
Yeah.
They say it looks like a normal home, a more traditional style home. And then once they get inside, they're like, whoa, what is this? What? There's like little steps. And the little steps go up, the little steps go down. These are fantastic because you have multiple living areas and they're usually a little bit larger. So where a ranch kind of has it can tend to have smaller bedrooms and one main living space, this has multiple layers of living space and can have more bedrooms that are a little bit larger in size.
And again, this is another great example of a home that can be opened up because there is normally, especially in the bi-level splits, there's a wall that kind of sections off the kitchen from the actual living area. So we have seen multiple times where they put this grand island where that wall used to be and really opens it up on that main level for you to be able to entertain and have fun with your friends and your family.
Yeah, and I like the architecture. Each one, between the bi, the tri, and the quad, they all have different floor plans, so it's really neat to explore these. And I will say one last thing is that I've seen one set up, it was a bi-level split, and it was really cool because the front, when you walk in, this formal room that people really congregated in and really enjoyed being with, it was close to the kitchen, but then you looked down and it was a complete man cave. It was awesome. It had Sports Central and this fireplace and all the team colors and everything. So it was really this neat contrast. It was almost like everybody has their own room and space to spread out. So if that's appealing to you, you want to consider those split levels.
So here's a style that we love. We don't have a ton around here, and lots of people are actually looking for them all of a sudden here in the Roanoke Valley, and that is the contemporary style of home.
Yes.
So you can find them, and we can help you do that. However, they are slim pickings, and when they come on the market, you better be ready to act.
Yes.
And why are they so popular?
Well, because they're just really cool. There's so many architectural variances with contemporary homes. Each one is a little different. When you walk in, I'm just always fascinated to see the lines and the lighting and the way that they have planned out the space. I think it's a great use of space and imagination and design. So obviously you can tell that we do really love this style.
We do.
But what contemporary really means is that it is just styles of the 21st century. So there's no real definition per se other than this is just a more modern style. And so you're gonna see other styles incorporated into contemporary homes. Things like farmhouse, that's really chic right now.
Yes.
And modern boho. You're also gonna see like mid-century modern elements incorporated into some contemporary designs.
So when it comes to these contemporary style homes, we can't give you a true sense of like what's the floor plan like and that type of thing because they are all so unique, which is one of the great things about them. You can expect to have some garages with those. You have off-street parking. I've seen a lot of wood on the exterior and some brick and stone.
That's true. Yeah.
Interspersed in there as well. So, I mean, you're going to have some varieties when it comes to the exterior of the home, but the biggest thing you're looking at a contemporary is the coolness factor, right? So, when you find a contemporary and it's cool or it can be cool, then you're going to be all over it and we're going to get you in it.
Yeah, and I'll say some typical things that we see in contemporaries are higher ceilings, interesting angles, more light, and bedrooms that are pretty standard in size, but you're just going to find some neat features throughout that you wouldn't see in a more traditional home.
All right, so here's a unique one as well. This style here is called the Foursquare, and it is an American style of house that was constructed in the 1890s up to the 1930s. These are very popular here in the Roanoke Valley. You'll find them in Grandin, you'll find them in South Roanoke. There's lots of options for the Foursquare here in the valley.
Yeah, and they're really boxy, if you will. They're more square in shape, whereas the Colonial is more rectangular. These are boxy, and they're about 2.5 stories. Some of them have finished basements, but most of them have unfinished basements or partially finished. And it's also categorized by a large dormer window in the very top and a large front porch, so that's nice.
And normally they have a walk-up attic, which has an opportunity to be finished as well. And then most of these, traditionally what I see is brick all around.
Right.
Lots of brick on these Foursquares here in the Roanoke Valley.
Yeah, and a lot of people are painting those, the Foursquare and also the ranches, and it makes the brick look completely different. I mean, it just really brightens things up for the most part. But Foursquare, that's what I grew up in. So, you know, it's pretty standard that you're going to have a living room and a formal living room, a dining room, and a kitchen. But those floor plans can be arranged a little bit differently in each one. And then the upstairs level is going to be your bedrooms and bathroom as well.
Yeah, and so don't forget about the front porch, where people can hang out with their neighbors, especially if they're living in the Grandin area where everybody likes to hang out and stroll around on the sidewalks. And then, you know, you will find some of these with off-street parking. Some of these not so much, but if you have off-street parking in these areas, a lot of time it's going to be a detached garage versus an attached garage. Because if you think about when this was built in the 1890s and 1930s, an actual attached garage would not have been the most important thing to them at that time.
Right, but more commonly you're just going to find a driveway. So on-street parking is very common. In a lot of our neighborhoods, some of the newer subdivisions in general, that's where you're going to find your garages.
So we talked about contemporary earlier, which has an architectural intrigue, but we also have a lot of historic style homes here as well, which when you talk about that with architectural intrigue, what types of homes are we seeing?
Oh, I mean, just a wide variety, but check out our video on Old Southwest. I think that video really captures a lot of the styles that you'll see, and they're sprinkled throughout the valley, but you'll have high concentrations in certain areas, like right off of downtown Salem and right down in Old Southwest. So there's concentrations of these more older, historic, and architecturally savvy homes. They're just beautiful, aren't they?
They are, absolutely. So when we talk about those that are around here, we're talking about Tudor, we're talking about Victorian. Well, also, we forgot to mention Craftsman-style bungalows,
oh, that's right,
which are super popular,
yes.
but there aren't a ton of those around here either. But when you find one, they look pretty amazing. We've sold a couple of those here in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and those are really beautiful. I love the floor plans of those Craftsman-style homes. I think if we don't go contemporary in their next house, we'll go Craftsman, because it's just, I like that style a whole lot. But also you're talking about Queen Anne and also Gothic Revival. And I think we mentioned a couple others in the Old Southwest ones. But it's just beautiful to walk down the streets and see these grand, beautiful homes. And I like how people are restoring those more and more back to their former glory. And it's beautiful.
It is. And with these, I mean, all different types of siding, of course. More than likely, you're going to have on-street parking where these actual properties are housed. However, you do have some of the driveway, you do have some of the detached garage, or actually, one thing we didn't mention is a lot of places in Roanoke City, you've got alley access behind the house. And whenever that happens, a lot of times people will put a garage on the back side of the property that they can utilize that, and then they'll put an actual apartment overhead and use that as an actual income source as well.
That's a great idea. Smart. This has been so much fun to look at those housing styles and types. It makes me want to go show more houses and dig into the history of each style.
Yeah, so whenever you come to Roanoke, when you're doing your research on Roanoke, there are other housing styles as well. These are some of the most popular, and there are some really cool options for you that we can't wait to walk through with you here in the Roanoke Valley. We'll see you soon.